Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll share with you how I look for new potential investments. So one of the way I do it is I look for ideas and I brainstorm about what is the big problem the world is facing, or a trend shift that will result in different consumption pattern changes. And then I pick the best company that can solve those problems. Now, COVID-19 have caused two things. Number one, pent-up demand for traveling, and number two, rise of remote work. Let's look at some statistics on remote work. So according to this article, 4.3 million people in the USA work from home at least half the time. The number of people who work from home has increased by 140% since 2005. Small companies are twice as likely to hire full-time remote workers. 16% of companies exclusively hire remote workers. And by 2028, 73% of all departments will have remote workers. Lastly, according to this article, 18% of people work remotely full-time. Now, what does this tell us about remote work? My personal view is that COVID-19 removed a lot of non-essential stuff, including commute, urban offices. We don't need a lot of these things to get work done. Small business will find remote work more appealing, as they prefer to be more lean and not pay for high commercial rent, and this will reduce their expenses. So as someone who does my work online, I'm doing options for money income. I teach options and investing on YouTube. I live in an urban city. People from all around the world come to the city area to pursue higher income, and hence higher demand for property, and that drives up the rental money in a place like Singapore. So a good question to ask myself is, why would I need an expensive place to complete my work? The answer is I don't. So why would I not rent my place out to someone else, collect the more expensive rental, relocate to somewhere else cheaper? So I just did a search, and with no effort, I found this property at Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam for $20 per night. And the property looks amazing for 20 Sing dollars for a night. Meanwhile, if I were to rent out my property here, I can get 120 Sing dollars per night, and it will be a $100 profit or additional cash flow without doing anything. So after thinking about this, it just blows my mind. I can have location freedom, I'm not tied down to a place. Now of course, one will need to consider about security, expenses in another country, unfamiliarity, but in this video, I'm focusing on the trend shift. The trend shift is human beings are moving away from a centralized urban city, and then they move more to the rural areas. Now let's look at this article where Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky shared about the travel industry. He believes that the hype around congested, crowded cities may be a relic of the pre-pandemic past. He said, and I quote, "This is a long-term trend. A trend towards bigger homes, a trend towards longer stays, a trend towards going from few cities to everywhere, a trend from business travel to leisure travel, and a trend from mass travel to meaningful travel." Prior to the pandemic, Airbnb's core business was driven by a vacationer going abroad for a week-long vacation. Adventurers sought out locations in urban centers accessible to the city's top attractions. Today, the whole rental platform is seeing the most growth in trips less than 50 miles away from home, with a quarter of all staying lasting 28 days or more. The traveler, it turns out, is highly adaptable, and Airbnb, being a tech platform relying on 4 million hosts across 100,000 cities, was able to accommodate changing behavior amid stay-at-home orders and mandatory quarantines. With this post-pandemic trend shift, I see Airbnb as a more effective business model that will gain more market share as compared to traditional hotels. Because you can take away the middleman Expedia, Booking.com, you take away the frontline help desk, you take away a lot of unnecessary service staffs, like full-time cleaners, or refreshments that you have unknowingly already paid for. The whole hotel industry as a whole is quite wasteful with their resources, and the customers have to bear all the costs. With Airbnb, I see a disruption towards real estate investing as well. So instead of paying 20% down payment to one single property, and renting that one property out for a long-term rental, an individual who is tax-savvy can go around picking the right properties with the same amount of cash, and then he can use the same amount of cash to rent multiple properties, furnish them, and charge much higher short-term rental. They can have cleaning contractors and not employ full-time cleaning staff. Airbnb is just a much more lean business as compared to the hotel industry. Most of the landlords are old money rich. They are not tech-savvy. They are not tech-savvy enough to use Airbnb to optimize their property, perhaps also because it's not worth their time. So I think there is a slight opportunity that us, the new generations, can capitalize on this opportunity, and I present to you my thoughts in real time. Now, this is not an investment advice. I'm still studying and looking at Airbnb as a company for investing. So one thing I dislike about Airbnb is probably the user interface. There's a lot of problems when dealing with people of different language and different culture too. However, I'm just sharing what I think is a good opportunity to maybe spend some time thinking about Airbnb business model and Airbnb as a company. I'm here doing this video to light up some light bulbs. Okay, if you like this video, do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm trying to reach 1,500 subs. This will be the best way to support me as of now. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.